And good morning. Welcome to Colona Now Live. I'm Jason Mann with Jim Check, our 5-day weather forecast for ATB Wealth coming up in just a few moments. First off, our headlines to start the day and topping our news stories. A majority of Canadians want the government spending cuts and a balanced budget amid inflation woes. This is a survey that was recently
You mean
conducted.
they don't want what Justin Trudeau says? I don't worry about the economy? Think about the economy?
It's just, everybody's tightening up their belts around the house, I guess, and thinking that maybe we need to do
Finally,
this
I think
collectively.
the message is, hopefully the message is getting through to the federal government. The majority of Canadians think federal spending should be reduced and the budget balanced. And Tiff Macklin even said that the government spending is contributing to inflation. I think people have had enough of it. But they also agree that we should increase on healthcare, and I think that's pretty much a no-brainer. Housing programs and stuff that can designed to drop inflation, right? That's a poll that was done between December 1st and 3rd. There's some of the numbers there.
I think that's really interesting. There is the international aid one because as Canadians we've been very generous in sending our money and helping, and to see that generosity. It's not generosity waning, but I think people are feeling tapped out.
83% respondents thinking that federal spending should be capped. 79% think federal spending should be reduced to balance budgets. 72% think returning to a balanced budget too quickly would mean hurting certain categories of population. So there you go.
Healthcare, more money in healthcare. Obviously, people feeling that too.
Yeah.
Travelers are warned of extremely long delays on Highway 1 east of Revelstoke.
Yeah, again, when considering driving at this time of the year, always check Drive BC first. They're saying expect extremely long delays on Highway 1 east of Revelstoke today. And that travel advisory remains in place along 43.5 kilometers of the road through the Glacier National Park. That's that travel between Revelstoke and Golden as you go over the Rogers Pass there, right? Heavy congestion is expected. Be prepared for short notice closures. Again, Drive BC is your friend as you're driving along, right? And then the Coke in our roads report, fully reopened now, but drivers are still warned about dense fog, right?
Yeah, there'll be some patches, I guess, up there.
Yeah, so just, again, be safe, good tires. And we always say have that winter survival kit in the car. Some snacks for the kids if you're taking kids. Snacks for yourself. Snacks for everybody.
It's a good idea.
There you go.
And the first section of the Shoswap North Okanagan Rail Trail is now completed.
Well, that's good news, right?
Yeah.
Construction is finished on that first section of the Shoswap North Okanagan Rail Trail project, which will eventually provide a walking and cycling network between Sycamus and Armstrong.
That's cool.
Work on that trail began this spring, and crews have completed a 2-kilometer section of the trail between Enderby and, I never get this name right, Splatson? Is that Splatson?
Yeah, it looks like Splatson.
And there you go. The section of trail is meant to better connect the two communities and act as an example of future sections of the 50-kilometer non-motorized Greenway Trail. Although the Enderby Splatson section is now open for public use, an official grand opening will take place in the spring when it's a little bit warmer.
I love the repurposing of the rails for walking trails. Yeah,
for sure. Gord Lovegrove would want us to put rail back on there, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they're useful and purposeful, perhaps, but as an alternate to whatever else might be happening there, it's a great option, I think. Looks like we're going to be in for another 90-minute closure. Highway 97 north of Summerland, they're going to be blasting again, and assuming it's the same time.
So if you have to drive that road, maybe getting used to having to find a place to eat in Summerland or Peachland, depending on which side of the closure you're on, right? So that closure is expected to happen again between 11 and 12:30. They kind of keep it consistent so people don't have to guess. So that's good news on that. So Friday, expect between 11 and 12:30 p.m. another closure.
It would be nice to get somebody in from AMROBs just to get a deeper understanding what's going on there and how long it's going to take for them to get that sorted out. West Kelowna Fire Rescue Food Drive sees record-breaking donations, which is great because there's record-breaking need.
Yeah, their 26th annual holiday food drive was a big success. Firefighters were out in the community on Monday night collecting donations for the Central Okanagan Food Bank, which will support families in need over the holidays. The 2023 food drive collected a record-breaking 10,730 pounds of food and more than $3,300 in cash. If you missed that food drive, donations are still being accepted at all 4 West Kelowna fire halls until Tuesday, January 2nd. This includes Station 31 on Old Okanagan Highway, Station 32 on Olalla Road, and Station 33 on Westlake Road, and Station 34 on Gates Road.
All right. And shout out to Richard Bliss over there serving the fire department and everybody else. Great work. No surprises here. BC has the highest cost of living in Canada. Awesome. They call it the sunshine tax, but
they should call it something else. British Columbians pay the most for housing, utilities, health and dental care, transportation, food and clothing, and the wages don't keep up. So this study was done by Westland Insurance with statistics. All of us knows that BC tends to be more expensive because of astronomical house prices, rents, constant hikes in grocery store, and soaring property taxes, utilities, and insurance. You know where the cheapest place is? You want to care to guess?
In Canada?
Yeah.
Well, it might be Atlantic Canada, or it might be Manitoba. I don't know. I'm going to guess Manitoba.
Atlantic Canada, I guess. Newfoundland.
Okay.
Newfoundland,
nice.
Right? The cheapest housing and the highest wages. And they get the highest wages because of all the resource stuff they do out there. Offshore oil and gas, mining, rebounding fishery, and growing tourism and tech industries. Newfoundland was once the place where a lot of unemployment and people, like you can find people from Newfoundland working all over Canada, and looks like Newfoundland has finally found.
How about that for resilience, though? So many people. You know,
Danny Williams. You remember Danny Williams?
No.
No? You don't remember the Premier Danny Williams?
No.
Very outspoken guy. When he used to say it's the Newfoundlanders' right to collect unemployment insurance.
Oh.
He would give them jobs so they would just get their amount of stamps.
Right. Yeah. Just that.
Move that pile of rocks over here and then move that rock back. Just so they get. Anyway, there you go. Newfoundland, great place.
Yeah, totally.
So Newfoundland leading as one of the best places to live as far as costs go, right? So there you go.
Well, Kent Mulgat was
That's
out and
kind
about.
of odd, though. One thing. On one side of the Canada, cheapest. Other side, most expensive.
It is a little bit odd, isn't it?
Weird, isn't it? Bookending. Kind of like weird, no? Kind of odd, no?
It is.
I find it odd.
I don't know what to say about it.
Maybe we should be getting Danny Williams to come and run the show here.
Well, I'll take anybody at this point. We're so bad. Okay, so the headline here, I don't. Are we this bad? At recycling, the regional district says that they're paying some penalties over it. So Kent Mulgat went down to the regional district.
I think we do a good job at home. I mean, we got those bins. We separate stuff. And
yeah, try. I mean, it's almost. It feels like it's impossible to be perfect at it. Like there's things that you might
change a lot of things all the time too, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, there's some clear up in this video. So she's going to bring Kent's going to bring as well some maybe new information about what we could be doing better.
How are people doing in terms of recycling properly?
So people are doing a good job, and I mean, I think people want to recycle as much as possible, which can sometimes be a problem because then you end up with wish cycling. Like, it looks like it's recyclable. I'll put it in and I hope it gets there. But we really need people to maybe check the app. We have a Recycle Coach app, or check the website to see what actually belongs in here, what doesn't belong in here. So we're seeing about a 12% contamination rate. So that's stuff that doesn't belong in here. About 4% of that is depot only stuff. So that other percentage is stuff that just doesn't belong. It's garbage, it's scrap metal, it's construction material, it's books. So we want to get that stuff out of there because we can be penalized by Recycle BC if that stuff ends up in our carts.
And we have been.
We have been, yeah. We had about $55,000 surcharges last year across the region for having stuff in our carts that don't belong.
So the idea is, though, you need to take the softer plastics, not put them in the garbage, not put them in recycling, but rather put them in another bag and then take them down from time to time down to the collection depot. So,
okay,
that's the point of that one.
There you
go. And we could have more editorial commentary on that, but apparently we're going to move on. Political shift underway in BC, says confident Conservative leader John Restad. So this is the newly formed Conservative BC party that is, I guess, another option in addition to the BC United Party as well.
Yeah, so Premier David Eby of the NDP and opposition BC United leader Kevin Falcon are looking over their shoulders at political gains being made by the new kid on the block, says BC's Conservative leader John Rustad. His upstart 2-member Conservative caucus has stirred the debate and changed dialogue at the legislature, and the party appears to be gaining momentum with voters as the scheduled fall election approaches. Rustad said it Wednesday at a news conference. Some recent polls suggest Conservatives who received less than 2% of the vote in 2020 and did not win a seat would finish second if the election were held now. Rustad, who became Conservative leader last month after being dumped from the BC United caucus in August 22, said he's heard from members in the business community who are lobbying for a Conservative BC United merger to counter the NDP. And he's not ruling out some form of talks. So I don't know, like splitting the Conservatives and the BC United Party is going to end up with, like might be a sure win for the NDP. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think they have to figure out a way. I know there's great success in Alberta with Danielle Smith and her party and what they're doing out there, which is, I guess they're called the Conservative Party, United Conservative Party, UCP. It was the Liberals, which were not part of the Liberal Party, but they're basically the Conservative Party. And then BC United, and these name changes, I think, confuse people too, right? So
yeah.
I don't think a lot of people are confused, but I don't think a lot of people are also looking for change. The winds of change are blowing.
Well, this is the thing, right? Yeah, it's how do you get change when it's split like that? But at any rate, the BC the roads are really the big story today. BC Interior Mounties reminding drivers to use extra caution after several vehicle accidents. This one looks pretty gnarly. An entanglement in the Kootenays between a semi and a pickup truck there.
Yeah, we've had that death that we reported on yesterday as well with the Dodge Caravan and the logging truck. Mounties are encouraging people to use extra caution when traveling this winter. Again, like good winter tires are your best friend. Not going out if you don't have to when it's really snowy, and then driving more cautiously, right? And if you're not confident on the road, perhaps stay off the road, because if you're driving really, really slow, it causes a lot of people behind you to get really anxious and take chances, which is also bad. And this one, there was a 26-year-old woman was driving her truck westbound when the vehicle began to fishtail and slid into the path of the 35-year-old truck driver. The collision caused both vehicles to end up off the highway, and both drivers suffered head injuries that required medical attention at a nearby hospital. The debris left behind in the accident was described as extensive and forced the closure of the highway for several hours as crews worked to clear the highway. So, you know what I mean? Like, there's a canopy on the road and everything, but again, being extra cautious. And again, if you get caught in that, and if you're up on a mountain pass, again, we're gonna kind of like drive this point home. A little winter survival kit that you can put in your car that includes blankets,
candles, little food,
a little bit of food, snacks, maybe some fruit. Fruit won't last as long in cars, so don't recycle that stuff. And if you're wearing like heels, Marcy, put some winter boots in the back, right? And mitts and all that kind of stuff. So in case you end up there for an extended period, and water is always good to carry, right? So there you go. You can't stress that enough, right?
Be prepared, and that could save you. All right. So next story up is Colona receives $25 million in grants to build over 270 childcare spaces.
Well, that's good news. Like really good news, because one of the things that I hear from lots of young moms and dads is that they can't find places for daycare. You've got 3 little ones. So the city of Colona has received a multi-million-dollar grant to fund the construction of over 270 new childcare spaces in the community. The city was successful in securing 3 Childcare BC New Spaces fund grants totaling $25.1 million to create new spaces for future community recreation and wellness facilities. These funds will see 91 spaces in each of the future Glenmore and Mission recreational facilities and the redeveloped Parkinson Rec Center. That includes 36 spaces for toddlers under 3, 75 spaces for kids aged 30 to school age, and 162 spots for children who are school age. There you go.
I'm feeling contrarian and cantankerous today. It's maybe good news. Like, here's the thing. Is it enough? Are we going to expand the number of childcare spaces faster than the need continues to grow, that more and more families need 2-income families to survive?
The other side of that is it's a step in the right direction.
It is, yeah.
And is it ever enough? Probably not. But it is a step in, and that's a big grant. I think one of the biggest grants the city's ever got. So it is again a step in the right direction.
Just hope it outpaces the growing need, the rapidly growing need, as more parents need to have 2 people in.
You want to do weather first? You want to do this EVAI piece?
Yeah, let's do AVI.
AVI. Google released an AI competitor to ChatGPT 4, right?
Oh.
So there you go. So about a year ago, OpenAI launched ChatGPT, brought the simmering AI race to a boil, and that's that saga with Sam Altman as well. And then Google's highly anticipated, AI model Gemini has just launched and joined the competition. There you go. So now X or Elon Musk has
Grok.
I think it's X.ai, and now we got Google with Gemini, and we got OpenAI with.
It reminds me of the
ChatGPT.
early days of the internet when there was like Internet Explorer, then another one. And
Remember Netscape?
Yeah, exactly.
Remember Netscape?
So in the end, will one survive or will more?
So one of the two things that really is interesting is that Twitter owns a ton of data. Or Twitter X has a ton of data that they own, they can mine. So this is one of the contentious points for AI is they're saying a lot of this material is copyright. And OpenAI says they're not using the copyright material. And Elon says that's a lie because he was part of that company. And he said, of course they're using it. But Twitter owns their own data, and Google has access to a ton of data, especially search trends and all that kind of stuff, right? So the tech is a family of 3 models that Google is slowly looping into its suite of services. One thing about Google, it tends to launch about 10 projects a year. One of them might survive. They kill off lots of projects as well. So Gemini Nano, the small fry of the bunch, is mainly for mobile devices. As of yesterday, Google Pixel 8 Pro owners could enlist Gemini Nano to summarize audio recordings or draft automatic message replies. Gemini Pro is a mid-size offering designed for more complex tasks. Now powers Google's chatbot Bard, but the AI tech isn't available to Google Cloud customers until December 13th. We're cloud customers of Google, so we'll get access and we'll see how it stacks up to ChatGPT, right? If Gemini can do what Google promises, it could chip away at OpenAI's lead. I think, one of the things that we're going to see in search, you go on Google and you search something just like if you're looking for information and Google will spit out 3 or 4 or 10 suggestions where ChatGPT and I'm imagining Grok and Bard and all that, they're going to give you the answer, not drive you to a website, which is probably not good for a lot of websites, but you know what I mean? They're going to actually generate the answer. Whereas, instead of making you go to the store or to the website that has that information, right? So there you go. This one is, we're going to talk about our friend Elon Musk again. They did the Cybertruck in 48-volt technology as opposed to 12-volt, which has been around forever. And he was kind of cheeky when he sent this out to all the other auto manufacturers, how to design a 48-volt architecture. And and this is where if we pull up the next piece there, Jim Farley of the CEO of Ford. This is why I say Jim Farley and Elon seem to get along really well. And I believe that they're going to do a deal. And Jim Farley thanks Elon for it. He said they weren't joking. We received the document today. Thanks, Elon Musk. Great for the industry. So there you go. So Jim Farley has been quite open with, they were the first to jump on the supercharger, the Tesla supercharger network. Now it sounds like, hey, we'll look at that 48-volt architecture. And they are doing things. Jim Farley seems like he's a very open guy. If you watch some of his stuff, you'll find that he's probably one of the guys that's running that ship, and it seems to be open and honest. Again, if you watch GM's stuff, you'll be just shaking your head most of the time, what's going on. Actions speak louder than words, right? And if you watch some of these people when they talk and what they're doing, when Joe Biden had Mary Barr up there and saying that she's leading the world in electrification. That couldn't be further from the truth, and they didn't even invite Tesla to that EV summit. So
it's all very political now, isn't it?
It's all very something. That's right. Anyway, let's do weather.
All right. 5-day weather forecast for ATB Wealth. Realize your vision of wealth at atb.com/wealth Colona. We are in for a bit of rain today. No, I don't think we're in for rain, actually. I think what we're in for, that word should be gone from this forecast. But what we actually see there are a mix of sun and clouds and a high of 2. So that's what we're going to actually see.
Weather guy.
Yeah, jeepers.
The one behind us.
Man, anyways, here's some additional weather shots. This one here at the Coca-Cola Summit, and then the next one actually over Big White. So that looks like fresh snow to me that they're getting on those trees. So that's a good sign. And I think we also had one other road condition. This was heading just east of Revelstoke, so another weather
Rogers
shot for
Pass,
Rogers. Yeah, about 33 kilometers out of Rogers Pass, but all that area
pull our webcam up there when you get a chance, maybe.
Is looking pretty dicey. So anyways, as we look ahead for the next couple of days, sun and cloud. See, there we go. Sun and cloud today, sun and cloud tomorrow, and a high of 0. It's going to chill off down to -2 for Saturday, and maybe we'll see some snow. I think pretty good chance of it, in fact. And then that snow easing overnight, making way for just cloudy conditions and above 0 for Sunday and Monday. So enjoy the next couple of days of a little bit of sun, and then we can look forward to some more snow on the weekend.
It's been a very mild
very mild.
November, and now we're into December here. We're into the first week. What is today? December.
And dry.
Yeah, so it's but look at that. That looks like a promising day.
Yes. This is your El Nino. What is it, Nina working for you?
There you go. What we should do is do a little time lapse of today, because we'll probably see that cloud cover like pull off there, and maybe we'll get some sunshine. Everybody loves a little sunshine.
Yeah.
Beautiful city, isn't it?
It's a beautiful shot. Look at that.
City.
We're pretty blessed. All right, so that's your forecast, and if you're on the roads, take her easy, be safe.
We have Ben Click coming in today, I think. Ben Click won at 1 o'clock. Ben Click won a BC Country Music Award. He's going to come in here. Maybe he's going to serenade us, or maybe he's going to play a
That'd
song.
be great.
We'll
Music
see.
2 days in a row.
And then we're back at 4 o'clock with the news. And,
Okay.
until then, stay safe.